And I first and foremost want to thank Supervisor Desmond and the Board of Supervisors here in San Diego. It's good to be back home. Been in D.C. and traveling the country. But it's imperative that we honor and revere Black history because Black history is American history. I want to thank the Board of Directors and the affiliates who work with me as the national president of this civil rights organization that I founded, the People's Association of Justice Advocates, which was founded to advance Dr. King's mission and dream of addressing the inequities and the poverty that too many African Americans and working class people across this country face. As an organization, we have been at the forefront of some of the most critical issues facing the forgotten and the unheard of society, specifically within Black communities. When you look at the pledge we made in 2020 with the County of San Diego, focusing on the decreasing the disproportionate placement of Black children in foster care, we were the first organization, national civil rights organization, to focus on this issue and to dig deep within this issue so that we could try to solve the disproportionate numbers of African American children and the lack of cultural competency within child welfare systems across America, and we're continuing that pledge. When you look at what we did with the historic Gas Me Up initiative, where attorneys like Attorney Mila and the Gomez trial attorneys, Attorney John Gomez and others partnered with us to put free gas into over 1,000 San Diegans, working class San Diegans tanks. It was historic. While some were talking about helping and assisting those who had struggled, we actually did it, and it was historic. When you look at the work that we've done across criminal justice reform, advancing police equity, policing equity, and specifically reimagining policing across this country, the work has to continue. We saw what happened to Tyree Nichols. We must say his name, but we must create reforms that ensure that we do not see any more Tyree Nichols. When we look at the lack of African Americans within the construction workforce, we must continue to advance a workforce that is truly equitable for all. When we look at the inequities of poverty facing African American communities across this country, we must ensure that families who have been hit the hardest get a guaranteed income so that that one check, which is not enough, can help them multiply into other support systems and be able to face these challenges with their children and their families. We must do the work to ensure that Black history is honored as American history. And I close in the honorable words of Maya Angelou. She said, "Won't it be wonderful when Black history and Native American history and Jewish history and all of U.S. history is taught from just one book?" My hope today is that we can bring all of our differences aside. Political parties, we should not be beholden to one party or the other. We should be able to work bipartisan. We should be able to talk to anyone, but at the end of the day, when all of the history is told, it should be one book we are reading from, the U.S. history book, the history of the American people. And Black history is the reason why American history is so strong. From the building of the White House to becoming the president of the White House and the United States, we have fought and persevered at every level. And I pledge to you today that we will not stop, and we will continue this pledge to ensure that more happens and more is done for these communities, reparations and such, for these communities who have built this country. If you built the country, you should be supported by this country. And so with all of that, we thank you for this honor, Supervisor Desmond and the Board of Supervisors. Let's get to work to make Black history American history by progressing Black communities across this country. Abdul Rahim Hamid.